My mind was just blown. It's like one of those moments where it just like hits you and you're like, whoa. And before I get into the specifics of that, I just want to kind of quickly share yesterday sucked. Well, yesterday night. Went to bed early around 7, something like that. Same as pretty much every other day. And I felt pretty much tired enough like I do normally, but for some reason I wasn't able to sleep. Yeah, I had a little breathing issues, but it's like it's not uncommon. It's been worse in the past and I've been able to fall asleep. So there was no logical reason for me to not be able to sleep, but for some reason I wasn't able to. And it's not like I wasn't tired. I was tired, I just couldn't sleep. And it's not like my brain was racing or I was thinking of something specific. Breathing, as I mentioned, wasn't that intense. Coughing, a bit, not that much. It's like there was no logical reason for me to not be able to sleep. So I don't know why, but I just wasn't able to. So as I mentioned, went to bed at 7, ended up finally being able to fall asleep at around 1 p.m. Sorry, 1 a.m. So yeah, wasted a lot of, well, not really wasted, but spent a lot of time in bed not sleeping. So all that to say, woke up this morning, I was very tired. So I decided to stay in bed a bit, uh, kind of propped up with pillows because one, it makes breathing easier, and two, there's always kind of, um, well, it's always a little more difficult for me to breathe in the morning, just because my body's, I don't know, it's easier to breathe when I'm sitting upright or standing, and just spending the entire night lying down. It just, I don't know, seems a little intense for my body. Also, like secretions and stuff like that kind of like build up and makes it more difficult to breathe. So, anyway, all that to say, kind of like propped up some pillows, seated in my bed, relaxed a bit because I didn't really sleep that well. But it just got to the point where I woke up and it's like, okay, I can't keep sleeping. Like, my body is just like, it can't handle being in bed anymore, at least not in a prone position. And I can't relax enough to sleep. So, spent a lot of time in bed. Well, a lot of time. A couple hours after waking up. And for some reason, I felt the urge to listen to The Sound of Silence. Now, I've listened to that song probably hundreds of times in my life. I really enjoy it. Not the original so much. I prefer the version by Disturbed. It doesn't really matter. The words are the same. Point is, I've listened to it multiple times throughout my life. But for some reason this morning, like, you know what? I feel like listening to it. So I kind of put it on repeat. And as I was sitting in bed, just relaxing, I listened to the song. And I wasn't really paying attention to the words. I eventually, like got up and shaved and brushed my teeth and, went to the kitchen and started preparing breakfast and stuff like that. And at some point, as I was doing that, some of the words jumped out at me. And the thing is, as I mentioned, like I've listened to this song hundreds of times, and I literally listened to it dozens of times so far in like this morning because I put it on repeat. But I wasn't really paying attention to the words, and then they just like kind of like jumped out at me. A few very specific words that he says in the song, and those words are "silence like a cancer grows," and it just hit me like, bam. And the reason why it hit me so hard was because of, everything I've discussed in the last few videos, what my friend did, or former friend did, the fact that he told me, and I handled the situation poorly and didn't say anything. I kept silent about that. And as a result of that, I literally grew cancer. So silence, like a cancer grows, it's like I kept silence, I grew cancer. And it just hit me like, holy fuck. And I kind of wonder, like, part of me wonders, like, is that why I've kind of always loved this song? Because subconsciously, I knew, like, there would be this moment, it would have true significance. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just something, one of those random things that happen, but it was just like, whoa. And I'm still kind of like reeling from it. I don't really think there's any specific significance to it. It's just the timing of it. I've been able to release it recently. I've been thinking a lot about that in the last few days. And finally, like, processing everything, doing everything I needed to do. Finally, like, did what I should have done all those years ago. And this morning, for some reason, I feel the urge to listen to that song. And then the words just like jump out at me. So it's like the significance of it is just, I don't know, it seems too good to be true. It can't just be random. I don't really know what it means, but it just like blew my mind when it happened. I was like, whoa. And it's just, it's cool when those moments happen. Even though there's nothing really like significant to it in the sense of like, doesn't change anything, but because of the timing of everything, it just has tremendous significance in its insignificance, if that makes sense. So just wanted to share that. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you at some point in the future.